Hello, I'm Ndimyake Mwakalyelye. This is Africa 54. Vincent Makori is off today, and we begin tonight with the hunt for Lord Resistance Army leader Joseph Kony. A new report says the United States is intensifying efforts to catch the elusive fugitive who is wanted for alleged war crimes and crimes against humanity. Now, according to the Washington Post, U.S. military officials have asked the White House to temporarily base Osprey aircraft in the East African nation of Uganda. The aircraft have the capability to land like helicopters but fly like planes. The reports say the aircraft would allow U.S. and African troops searching for Kony to cover a broader area and assault Kony's camps more quickly. The Washington Post says the move, if authorized, would nearly double the number of U.S. troops in Uganda, now capped at 100. Uganda is leading a regional effort to find and catch Kony, whose rebel LRA group has terrorized Central African villages for years. Now, the Post says U.S. soldiers have increased training for South Sudanese and Democratic Republic of Congo units taking part in the hunt. It also says that last month, U.S. Special Forces accompanied South Sudanese commandos on an unsuccessful search mission for Kony in Congo. Now, for more insight on the hunt for Joseph Kony, we turn now to Sasha Lezhnev, Senior Policy Analyst at the Enough Project, and he joins us via Skype from here in Washington, D.C. Mr. Lezhnev, thank you so much for joining us today.
Oh, thank you for having me.
Yeah, so what do you make of these reports from the Washington Post and other sources that the U.S. is intensifying efforts to capture Kony, and also that it is considering using this aircraft capability?
Well, the U.S. advisors have been the single game changer in changing the LRA's strength and capacity over the last 2 years. The LRA attacks have gone down by 53% over the last 2 years. The number of killings have gone down by as much as 90% since the advisors have been deployed. And so we really applaud the administration for sticking with this effort and not running away when many other governments or administrations might have done in the past.
Now, what do you at least know about reasons why Kony, despite so much effort, has yet to be captured, including what we just announced a few minutes ago, that there was an unsuccessful attempt as early as last month?
The terrain out there is very difficult. The area that the LRA is roaming in is about the size of the state of Texas or the country of Poland. And so there's a lot of territory where the African Union mission is not able to cover yet. And so one of the biggest gaps, in fact, is to make sure that there's diplomatic access granted to the African Union mission so that, the forces of the Ugandans or the South Sudanese or the Congolese are able to actually access, so that Kony doesn't have a back door that he can actually just run away to when there's an attack on a certain area.
Where would you gauge, or how would you gauge the activities of the LRA right now in the areas that they're supposedly operating? Are they still very active? Are they still a threat? What exactly is their level of activity?
Well, the LRA will be a threat and will continue to be a threat and will be a threat in the future as long as Kony is still active in the field and is not captured. So, the LRA has been lying low, so to avoid detection. They've been operating in smaller groups. They're spread out in different locations, and they don't stay in their camps as long as they used to. So they had a camp in Kafia Kingi in the Darfur area. They had a camp in Garamba, but they move quickly. And so the key is to get speed and an element of surprise so that their forces can be captured, and to make sure that there's a very important defection component to the strategy. And there has been an increase in defections, but we really need to see more of that, and we need more European support for that defection effort.
Before I let you go, very quickly, I read a report from your organization saying that the U.S. and Uganda together as a team are stronger than as individual countries.
Absolutely. Well, it's not just Uganda. Uganda's been in the lead, and they've been working on this issue for many years, but we now have the African Union involved. And so South Sudan, the Democratic Republic of Congo, they're all very important partners. The U.S. is not doing this alone. But, with a few more resources, such as those Osprey helicopters, in fact, we could see an end to the LRA much sooner than we had hoped for. So we hope that those resources are deployed.
Well, thank you so much for those insights Mr. Lezhnev,
Thank you for
who
having me.
is the Senior Policy Analyst with the Enough Project, and he joined us via Skype.